And now for you, someone, obviously your resume is not all horror, but I think it kind of really leaned into it after the Rob Zombie
Yeah.
Halloween films. Do you think that being in those really changed your career trajectory? And why do you think maybe that was the case?
That's interesting. Actually, I'm not, yes, 100%. I think that it shifted something because I didn't do horror movies with the exception of Urban Legend
Yeah.
for 20 years. So I only did two movies as a kid. So it was crazy that I was always still sort of seen as like, this horror actress when I wasn't doing horror movies. And then
Yeah.
coming back in Rob's, I think, my fan base is my age.
Yeah.
Like I rarely have younger fans. Mostly everyone's right around mid 30s to mid 40s.
Yeah.
So I think that we all kind of grew up together. So I didn't really fall off the map. Like everyone still, like you were saying, don't tell mom. Like everyone still kind of watched things as I grew up, and it felt maybe familial. So I think when I came back, I did not expect that to happen. Like I
Yeah.
thought, oh, I'm passing the torch to Scout. She's the new like Halloween girl. And that didn't really happen because fans, to my surprise, were like, oh my God, she's back, she's back. Maybe because I died or the character died in Halloween 6. Like I wasn't really sure what happened and why it happened that way.
Yeah, it was
But
unfortunate.
I know, but I was stoked. I mean, I wouldn't have wanted to do that. I mean, that would have
No.
been really weird.
No, you want an epic ending for a character, not her
Yeah,
to be killed off right at the
right.
beginning.
And even, that in Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, I was the only character in the script that didn't have like a death scene. Like you have to see the struggle between Annie and Michael. Like I can't be the
Yeah.
only one that doesn't. The fans, you're going to get a lot of crap if fans don't. If I'm going to die, because they're not really mourning Annie, like they're kind of mourning Jamie a little bit.
Yeah.
So we did that little fun fight scene between Tyler Mane and I. Just we kind of threw that together. Rob Zombie was like, just go for it. And then we filmed him coming after me. And that just is what happened. I was like, throw me into the wall. Well, we'll figure it out. So I think, to lose my train of thought. I forget where I was going with that.
It's all right.
It's called quarantine brain. That's for
Yep, we
sure.
all have the
Yeah.
fog every now and then.
So yeah, so you were saying, coming back and sort of rebooting everything, and if I did not expect it, and I think that's why I was given such a big dramatic death scene too in Halloween 2,
Mm,
and if people said like, oh my God, I was crying. Like you really cry when someone dies in a horror movie usually, so
no.
they're usually like the ones you want to die for the most part, or you don't really
Yeah.
care about. So I think that was like a nice goodbye.
Social media. I saw you recently relaunched your website, and I loved the recreation of Jamie Lee slash
Thank you.
Laurie slash Michael from the first movie, that photo shoot.
It was
Can you
cool.
talk a little? Yeah, can you talk a little about that as well as the pinup photos of you with Michael too? It just seems like you're having fun with it.
I mean, I enjoy this stuff. And now that Halloween is canceled this year, which I refuse to allow happen. So
No.
you're sitting home and you're creative and you're bored. And I'm like, God, what could I do? I'm not doing appearances really that much. I'm not getting to interact with the fans like I always do at this time of year. So
Yeah.
bored, it's sort of been like, okay, what can I create? So that's kind of been the best thing that's come out of it. And I hadn't really done a photo shoot in 10 years. So
Mm.
looking at pictures, and I've just evolved, as a person, being a mom now. And I mean, you wouldn't, but then I'm like, I don't want to play. I'm not really the mom. That's why I was like, screw this. I'm going to take all my clothes off now and get in the shower and cover myself in blood.
Obviously, I know you've been asked this a million times. Fans obviously want you to somehow pop up in one of the new Halloween movies as well. Has anyone actually reached out, or have you tried reaching out? I know Halloween Kills, it's done, but there's still Halloween Ends.
Right. Right.
Obviously,
Exactly.
Jamie Lloyd doesn't exist, but some
Right.
sort of cameo, I think everyone would love to see.
I mean, I actually contacted them, myself, and just said, can you guys just call me? So, because I didn't want them to think like I was not irritated that I wasn't in the new one, it was just like people were making a big deal out of it.
Yeah.
And so I talked to Ryan Turek on the phone and said, I want you to know, like, it's all good. Like everyone's making a big deal out of it. I don't expect to come back in the movie, you know. Am I bummed that you gave her a daughter and it's not me? Sure. So that, you know, back in the day when it was Josh Hartnett, it was like, oh, she's got a son. Oh, he's famous. Oh,
It's totally
like,
different.
I've done horror movies in 9 years. Like, oh, duh. Like, of course, I would probably have Josh Hartnett too. But it wouldn't have been horrible. It would have only probably benefited them to have had me as her daughter in it. Like that would have been pretty epic, I think.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I'm that character, you know,
Right.
like I don't think if it was Jamie that I would have turned out that way.
Mm.
So it really wouldn't have been cast properly unless they rewrote it differently.
A different character.
Yeah, I probably would have been like trying to kill him with her, you know, so it would have been a very different movie. So I did say, they said, we love you, we love you, we love you. We're always trying to find ways to incorporate you. It's just, obviously it's not going to be this one. So that's kind of how we left it. And I just said, I'll do anything. It would be just so fun to do something with Jamie Lee, maybe like I could check her out at the grocery store, you know, and she thinks she recognizes me, or we have a moment, you know, like something like that is probably a little more believable. So,
I was
you
gonna
know,
say,
never.
First time I interviewed Jamie for the last Halloween, I brought up Kyle Richards being in possibly the next one, and now she is. So maybe it'll happen.
We'll start it. Get in, put it out in the universe.
Have you still not met Jamie?
Somebody said that I did years ago, but I don't remember meeting her. And I have no recollection of meeting her. No, I know. I'd love to see now if I could watch the original Halloween with her on my commentary show, like that would be. I don't know if I'm allowed to curse. Okay, that would be. Yeah, goals. I'm just going to put it out there too. With coming back from the Halloween franchise, then we could do an interview in a year and we're going to be like, oh my God, it totally all happened.